Hi everyone, my name is Mark Moikins from Big Mountain Studio, and today I'm going to teach you how to create round buttons with images. Take a look at this image here. This image is from a video that I found on YouTube from a graphic designer named Vincent Latang Jr., and he has a time-lapse video of creating UIs in Sketch. And I saw these round buttons down here. I'm like, wow, I want to learn how to do that. So let's get started. I'm just going to create one button for now. Okay, first thing we need to do is give it an image. And I'm going to add the Facebook images right here. So I already have them created. And really, when you add an image, you only really need the 2x and the 3x because the 1x isn't used anymore. So we're going to just go with these two images. And we're going to drag them in here. And it puts them into one, as you can see here. Now, this image is black. But as you can see from this image is white. I'm not going to create a white image. You can actually just use the tint color of the button to color this image. But you have to set up something first. Clicking on the Facebook image, you have to come over to the render as and set it as template image. And what that'll do is use the tint color of the button. So let's go to our main storyboard. And we have our button selected. So we're going to change the image here. And we're going to select Facebook. And there you can see the image there. It has text in it, so let's take that text out. Now we know the color is going to use the tint color, so let's just make that white right now. Just select white color. Now, when I change the tint color, you're not going to see it in design view, but when I run it, that's when you'll see the tint color being used. And there you go. It's a white F. So we're almost there. Now we just have to create the white circle. And how do you do that? We're going to create an IB designable, stands for Interface Builder Designable. So let's create that file. And we want the Cocoa Touch class. We want a UI button. What should we call this? I'm just going to call it round button. Click create. And there we have it down here. Okay, so let's get rid of this. And I want to be able to make the changes in the interface builder. So what I have to do is give it an interface builder designable attribute to my class. And remember I said I needed 3 properties. So I need to be able to define a border width, a border color, and a corner radius. The first one I'm going to start with is the corner radius. Bar, and we'll just call it corner radius. And it's going to be a type CG float. And we need to give this a default value. So by default, there will be no corner radius, which means it's just 0. And I need to be able to change this inside of the attributes inspector. So in order to be able to do that, I need another attribute here called Interface Builder Inspectable. This attribute basically does is allows this property to show up in my attributes inspector. So if I come to my storyboard now and I have the button selected, let's change it to our new class, round button. And then now we come over to attributes inspector. Now we see a new property called corner radius. And I can set that value, but nothing's going to change or nothing's going to happen right now. That's because when the property is changed, we're not really handling it. So let's do that now. Let's implement that functionality. Every time this property changes in the storyboard, this did set will be called. And when the did set is called, we want to be able to change the UI button. And the corner radius is actually going to be on the layer. And we'll just say it equals corner radius. Like that. Okay, well, setting the corner radius isn't really going to help us unless we can actually see a border. So let's add those other properties where we can set the border width and the border color. So it's going to be, the same kind of pattern as you see above. Whoops, doing the border here. Default it to 0. Oops, we want border width rather. And I'm just going to save some time by copying this. There we go. And this is going to be our border color. And of course, a color isn't a float, it's going to be UI color, like that. Okay, so those are all the properties that I need. Oh, and of course the default value isn't a 0. Let's make the default color clear. Let's see, what is this? UI color to types. Oh, okay. So it's looking for a CG color. So we'll just convert this to a CG color like that. There we go. All right, that should do it. Now let's go to our main storyboard, and we should see those 3 properties now. There they are. The border width, we'll just make that a 1, and we want the color to be white, because that's going to be the same color as our tint color. And now we want to make rounded corners, but the first thing we have to do is we want a square button. So let's make sure that the width and the height are the same. And we can just change it to 50-50, like that. While we're at it, I could have done this too, like using the height and the width here. And then we need to center it. Okay, now that I know the height and the width are 50, in order to create a perfectly round circle, you want to take one of those measurements and just divide it in half. So the corner radius will be 25. There it is. There's our round button. Now let's run it and see how it looks. All right, there it is. There's your round button. Looks pretty good, right? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned some new things that you can apply to make your UI look better. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and you'll see more cool videos come out like this. Thanks. Bye.